Hi, how you guys doing? You're watching Andy WTH. I'm Andy. This is, of course, a Big Brother edition, 18 USA, and we just got our first real eviction, if you want, out. The first one, which was Glenn, he was evicted, yes, but it was not by vote. It was, I call it competition eviction first week. So he basically got eliminated through competition. So really, that's how he got eliminated. The last night, it was the first person to actually be voted by the House out. So, as we all remember, the three that was up, it was Jose, Polly, and of course Bridget. Bridget, yes. And of course, Jose thought he had it all under control. He had the old House meeting. He called himself the Messiah, right? So he was telling people, this and that, you got to vote out Polly, all this stuff. So that came, he did this big, huge House meeting. Of course, some vets were there, like James, like, what the hell? What's this guy doing? But anyway, so he really thought he had it control. Well, let's analyze really his game, all right? The guy, first of all, went in thinking that he had it under control as soon as you walk in, okay? Well, you don't have it under control until you start making alliances, start making contact with people in the house, the other house guests. That's important right off the bat. But him, he didn't seem to do that. He seemed to come in, think right away that he was the Messiah. Well, I'm sorry, Jose, but you were not the Messiah. And of course, that was his first mistake. He really thought he had the game in the hand, as they say. And of course, what does he do? He starts going after Nico. The HOH last week. Nico was the HOH. So what does he do? Well, he goes, says, I'm going to go after her. She needs to go home. Well, okay. I want you to think about this for a minute, okay, Jose? You cannot go after the HOH, okay? They got power. You got to go talk to them. You got to try to get them to do your bidding, or at least avoid you being the target. But no, what does he do? He just painted a nice, beautiful target around his back. Say, Nicole, here, look. Nicole, just look at the target. You see it right there. It's right there. I hope you see it. If you don't see it, I'll make it bigger. So that's what he did. So he went and talked to her, at least on one occasion for sure, and nothing came out of it. Okay? And then by the time it was almost too late, he's trying to say, oh, we can work together and all this. I'm like, come on. You're talking to a vet, okay? She's not going to buy what you're selling when all week you're selling that you want to get her out. She's your number one target. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, it's pretty simple, all right? You did not realize what was going on in the house, all right? There's so many alliances in there that you could not figure out what the hell is going on. So that's problem number two. If you're and there's only one says you were talking to one of the other house, going to say, hey, I'm very observant. Well, not really, because you should have realized there was other elements in the game that you were not aware of. Because I know if I was in the house, that's what I'd be looking for. Elements I do not know what's going on, and see if I can get involved in that in somehow to make sure I benefit from it. But you obviously, because all you did, you basically took two other house guests that part of your alliance was called rookies against the vets. And who was in your alliance? Victor and Paul. Okay, between both of them, I don't think they can put a light bulb into a socket. I'm pretty sure of that. That's just my opinion, all right? Because I don't see either of them being great players. But we'll talk about them later. So, anyways, in a nutshell, Jose, you did not have the first 16 days or so that you were in there. You were not as strong as I anticipated you would have been. Kind of disappointing, actually, but it is what it is. But guess what? You have a chance to get back in the game. And how are you going to, if you do get back in the game, how are you going to change your game? Can you change your game? Well, I don't know if Jose can actually change his game, because I think he's too arrogant, in my opinion, to realize his errors. So, and the reason I'm saying he's got a chance to come back, of course, is called Battle Back. And Glenn is the first two, Glenn and him, I guess every week they fight it out somewhere. So I don't know what the actual competition is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be voting or actual. I think it will be actual competition, which I hope it really does happen. And I would love to see Glenn back in the house. I think it would be great to see him back in, because I'd love to see him, how he would do in the house. So anyways, in a nutshell, that's Glenn, or excuse me, not Glenn. I'd like to see Glenn in there, but Jose, you have a chance to come back. So if you do come back, we'll see what you do. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Jose, his game this week, and he's evicted. So we'll see how the battle back is going to shape up. And that's it. So that's it on Jose and what I thought about his game. And I think myself, after really thinking about the worst Big Brother players of all time, Jose, right now you're on top of my list. But that's all right. You still have a second chance to see if you can get off that list. So we'll talk to you later. My name is Andy. You're watching Andy WTH. Thank you.